Hey guys, it's Richard here from Channel 23, ha ha ha, and welcome to a obvious Bats My Belfry movie review. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So can any of you guess what movie I'm going to review for you guys today? Get on with it, you schmuck! That's just rude. Anyways, I'm going to be reviewing for you guys The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro, Sir Anthony Hopkins, Hugo Weaving, and my new crush, my new love in life, Emily Blunt. I mean, right after I saw this movie, I just was head over heels falling in love with this girl. Can you feel the love tonight? I know I can. So The Wolfman is another remake of a long line of remakes. Well, not really long, more like a medium line. That started off with Francis Ford Coppola when he made Bram Stoker's Dracula. Then when Kenneth Branagh made Frankenstein. And then the more popular one, The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. This is another one of those films, and one that I've honestly been waiting for. And I'm more of a fan of werewolves than I am of any other type of monster. I don't know why. I've just always been that way. I've always been a werewolf guy. I mean, vampires are cool. Zombies are cool, but we've been getting way too much of them, and it's kind of overwhelming. So when I first heard that The Wolfman was coming out, I was excited to see it. The initial plot of The Wolfman is similar to the film. This guy named Lawrence Talbot, who's a theater actor, is given a message from his brother's fiance that his brother has died from a vicious attack that some would say is either by an animal or a serial killer, but no one's 100% sure because everyone's split on it. One suspect is the gypsies, who claim that there is a man-beast on the prowl, and the only way to protect yourselves is to stay away from the full moon and to arm yourselves with silver bullets. Now, the actor, Lawrence Talbot, played by Benicio del Toro, takes the telegram with him to his father's house, Sir John, played by Anthony Hopkins, to his house in Blackmore, England. And there, while on the investigation, per request from the fiance, played by my love, Emily Blunt, she asks him to find out how his brother died. And what he finds out is that he was killed by a wolf. But not just any old ordinary wolf, some kind of man-beast wolf that was just like, you know, like, I'm sorry if I scared you, I kind of scared myself a bit. Then when he makes the discovery that there's this werewolf out there, or this wolf out there, he gets attacked and bitten on the neck, and through the course of the film, to about the middle point in the movie, that's when he starts turning into a werewolf and going through, you know, all the stuff that the werewolf does, which is essentially end up killing a bunch of people. It's unfortunate to say that I was not as pleased with this movie as I wanted to be. I so wanted to love it. Just the huge down point is that it was way too rushed, and the editing was probably the biggest problem that the film had. It was just way too rushed. It was way too like fast paced, yet it still felt like a little bit of a lengthy film. But it had its moments. Particularly, there's this one particular scene that I kind of enjoyed where Lawrence Talbot is in an insane asylum, and you know, he has the perception that he's a werewolf. Apparently the perception, by the way, but even though he really is, but the doctors think he's nuts. One of the doctors sets him in front of a crowd of psychiatrists in front of a giant window to prove that when the full moon is appearing, he will not turn into a werewolf. But he does, and, you know, then he escapes and towers through London. He just, you know, is racing through London, and just, it's actually a pretty cool scene. But other than that, it was way too rushed for me to actually care about the characters and the story, and I really wanted to it was a huge disappointment, but at the same time, I still slightly enjoyed it. Like I said, the film had its moments, but I think when it comes to the acting of the film, the person that did the best job was Hugo Weaving. He had his V from V for Vendetta voice, and he played Francis Aberline, whose real name in real life was Frederick Aberline. If you don't know who that is, he was the detective who was hired on the Ripper case, the Jack the Ripper case, and they make some really interesting allusions to that as well. So, but overall, it's not the worst movie in the world, but it could have been so much better. I mean, if it was any other werewolf movie, it would have probably been a lot better because, they don't really have kind of a stamp they're trying to place. But, if that makes sense. But it's the Wolfman, and you have to really step up your game when it comes to this. And, some of the things about it, like the transformations and the CGI, were not as impressive as they could have been. It just could have been so much better. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I still enjoyed it, but it just could have been so much more. Now, before I go, I want to make some recommendations because some of you are probably trapped in some snow, so you can't go out to see the movie. If you want to see The Wolfman, here's some recommendations I recommend for you. Now, the only movie I'm recommending for you guys is Sleepy Hollow, starring Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Christopher Walken, and directed by my idol, Tim Burton. The similarities between The Wolfman and Sleepy Hollow are so eerily similar, from the screenwriting to the composure to the production designing. It's insane. However, between the two, this is the better horror film. It's not The Wolfman, but it's about the Headless Horseman, and it's great. I highly recommend it. That's about it from me, guys. Have a very happy Valentine's Day, and I'll talk to you guys next time when I review Shutter Island. See ya.